Good afternoon, everyone, and a very special welcome to our Presidential Rank Award winners and their families. Thank you for being here today. I'm Karen Ahuja, Director of the Office of Personnel Management, and I'm thrilled to join the celebration with President Biden to honor our 230 Presidential Rank Award winners. And what better time for us to honor these winners than today, the first day of Public Service Recognition Week. All too often, the hard work of serving the American people takes place away from the public side. And if you ask any federal employee, they'll tell you they're here for the mission more than the accolades. They want to see the positive impact of their work on the world around them. And the federal government is an unparalleled platform to do just that. Public Service Recognition Week is a time to acknowledge the federal workforce, and the Presidential Rank Awards are a perfect way to celebrate outstanding federal leadership. I want to thank President Biden for making the federal workforce a top priority from day one of his administration. It is why I chose to serve under President Biden, because of this commitment. In Executive Order 14003, which the President signed during his very first week in office, he stated quite succinctly, career civil servants are the backbone of the federal workforce, providing the expertise and experience necessary for the critical functioning of the federal government. It is the policy of the United States to protect, empower, and rebuild the career workforce. Simply put, the beating heart of the federal government is made up of the public servants who work here, and this administration knows it. Federal service is an honor and an opportunity to do meaningful work. But it comes with challenges and sacrifices, especially over these last few years, particularly for members of our senior executive service and other senior leaders, almost 8,000 strong, whose significant experience and skill sets mean they have numerous options for where to build their careers. Many of the PRA winners joining us today have jobs of staggering complexity and demand. They are the senior managers, policymakers, and technical experts whose accomplishments embody agency mission, service, and stewardship. They inspire their colleagues to join them in striving for excellence, and in that sense, they are a force multiplier for the tireless public service that every American is proud of. That's why it's so important to celebrate these top performers and their families who make it all possible and empower the federal workforce overall. The Presidential Rank Awards, bestowed by our president, recognize exceptional performance by career senior executives in the federal government and are the premier awards program for federal employees. Every award recipient rose to the top through hard work and dedication. They were nominated by their cabinet secretary or head of their agency. And while President Biden bestows this honor, and OPM proudly facilitates the rigorous review and selection process, this is an award from the American people. The recipients are a credit to our country and choose to use their knowledge, ability, and skills on behalf of the American people. I know this is deeply personal for President Biden. We've all heard him say that a job is more than a paycheck. It's about dignity. And the 230 PRA recipients we're celebrating today would add something to that. They've showed that for them, it's also about service. At OPM, we like to say we work as hard for federal employees as they work for the American people. And I will just say that the leaders joining us today set that bar very high. For me, it's a true privilege to be among giants right now and to work to meet the high bar you set for all of us and to uplift and empower the federal workforce every single day. And with that, it's my honor to turn it over to one of our distinguished Presidential Rank Award winners, Diana Espinoza, Deputy Administrator of the Health Resources and Services Administration, along with the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Thank you, Director Ahuja, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Diana Espinosa, and I'm just so honored to be here today and to have received the Presidential Rank Award. I serve as the Deputy Administrator of the Health Resources and Services Administration, an agency of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And so since this is government, I must also use acronyms, and so our agency is known as HRSA. And my agency's primary mission is to provide equitable access to health care for all Americans, with particular focus on those who face barriers getting the high quality health care that they need and deserve. During the pandemic, the programs and partnerships that HRSA has with states, local governments, community-based organizations were instrumental in ensuring that vulnerable communities got the care that they needed. I led efforts to stand up 2 critical COVID relief programs in record time. The first one was an uninsured program that paid claims reimbursement for providers who delivered testing, treatment, and care to and vaccinations to uninsured individuals. This program helped people, everyone, have access to COVID care regardless of their ability to pay. I also led our work to stand up the Provider Relief Fund, which quickly provided funding to healthcare providers across the nation so that they could keep their doors open and continue to provide the care that the American people need. When I look back on the incredible work that I've been part of for the past couple of years, I have to say, you know, I'm amazed, I'm proud, I'm still a little exhausted, and I just never imagined, you know, someone like me who is a first-generation American, the first generation of my family to go to college, would be sharing the stage with the President of the United States. And so I say we all get called to service in different ways. And I know that, you know, in my years of public service, especially over the last couple years, one thing that I certainly know is that public servants really know how to step up and provide the services and programs the American people need, especially when they need them the most. And so thanks for having me today. And now please join me in welcoming President Joe Biden.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Well, thank you all. Karen, thank you for the great job you're doing leading the Office of Personnel Management. And thank you, Diana. Diana, thank you most of all for the difference you've made. You've really made a difference in people's lives. You saved people's lives in the process. Helping speed resources to hospitals and healthcare workers in the front lines when they needed the help the most. Because you and your team delivered, there are families who gather around a dinner table tonight and it's completely filled. There's no empty chairs. 1 million people have died. 1 million people have died, but think of all the lives you helped save. You know, they may not know your name, but you have their gratitude. And that's what public service is all about. It's that what the President Rank Award is all about. They're about the families in every corner of this country whose lives all of you who are behind me on the screen, all of you have touched. Every single one of you. Those families may never know your names, but you have their gratitude. It was my honor to reestablish these awards last year after the previous administration made a decision to cancel them. Because these awards are about more than individual recognition. They're a reminder to all of us, to everyone, of the extraordinary capacity, creativity, diversity, and dedication of our federal workforce. And a reminder of why you all the work you do matters so much. You know, a couple of weeks before I was sworn in January 2021, I sent a message to all career civil servants. And I meant it at the time, and I still mean it. I told them that we're a team, one America, and I meant it. Over the last 15 months, You've helped us deliver so much to the American people, helping stand up a wartime efforts to get the country vaccinated, getting checks into people's pockets of families who needed help, literally just to keep food on the table, keep a roof over their heads, helping communities rebuild in the wake of storms and wildfires, and caring for our veterans, cleaning up the polluted lands and waters, implementing the bipartisan infrastructure law to deliver good-paying job opportunities and game-changing investments to communities all across America, and so much more. Most of all, you restored the faith of millions of Americans in their government, that their government sees them and hears them, that we listen to them, respect them, and reflect them. You're helping restore their faith that democracy can deliver in America. And by restoring their faith and coming through for them today, you're helping strengthen our country for tomorrow in a literal sense. Look, you and your colleagues couldn't have done, if you had opportunities looking back on it, probably you could have done anything, almost anything with your careers. You're so talented. But you chose public service. And the families in every corner of this country are better off today because you made that choice. Not only are you helping to confront the great challenges of our time, you're showing America, the world, that we can do what we can do when we come together and lead with honor and integrity, as you all have had being recognized today, with a federal government that looks like America and gets things done for all Americans. So I want to say simply thank you, thank you, thank you. Not only to you, but to your families as well, for the sacrifices you've all made to serve our nation and to deliver for all the folks around the kitchen tables tonight and today and this morning and tomorrow and the next day, who might never know your names. It makes a difference. I hope that these awards remind each of you of why you're here and why it matters. So let's keep it up. Let's keep delivering for the American people, because I tell you what, we work for them and we have to do our job, and you're doing it incredibly well. Thank you for all your exemplary work, and congratulations to all of you. And may God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you all so very, very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, when are you meeting with Austin Tice's parents?
Today.